Hello, all. Welcome to my next tea adventure. In my book, I wanted to get away from Japan and China and Taiwan and all those really common places to buy tea and go after one of the less common places. So I did some research and we are doing Bangladesh. How cool is that? So I got this premium tester pack from Teatulia, and it has all these varieties in it. I love what it says on the back. Tea as it was meant to be, the great tasting tea that's better for the land, its people, and the environment. A lofty goal, yes, and one we're proud to have achieved. And then I like this one. Know where your tea comes from. And this particular tea comes from this estate in Bangladesh. Drink good tea. The bag is just too fun. To health and to life, to tea. There's a little bit of Bangladesh. Oh, wait. There's Bangladesh. I just like looking at the bag. They took a lot of care. It says fair trade there, and somewhere down here, certified something. So the deal with this is my book gives the white, green, and black. So I'm going to do the tea tasting on them at first, and of course, just like tasting good wine, you want to do the white first. You want to do the sweet tea. You want to do the less overpowering wine, which is the sweet wines, and work your way up to the dry wines, because it doesn't work very well going backwards. So you work your way up on the lighter white tea, a little more oxidized green tea, and then more oxidized black tea. And then we have all of these other teas that came in here. This is lemongrass, so we're going to try all of these. Tulsi infusion, peppermint, oolong, Earl Grey, and chamomile. So learning from my book, it says the majority of the Bangladesh teas are CTC teas, which are curl, tear, crush. I think that's what that is. And they're good for color, but they have moderate quality. And it says at the time the book was written, there was 163 tea estates in Bangladesh, but there was just this one tea company that grew organic, and they are called Kazi and Kazi Tea Estate, but they also go by this Teatulia name. So when you are shopping in the United States, this Teatulia is actually out of Denver, Colorado. And you see the website there. I actually got this tasting pack off of Amazon. So this company is, the other companies, they generally sell their teas for blending. So you may be drinking Bangladesh teas from all the various small shops out there that you can buy various blends of tea and not know it. So it's meant for the blending. But this tea is supposed to be, more of a premium tea. Okay, the tea comes out in these little sachets, little bags, and I don't know if you can see the tea in there. And I've already done my smelling tasty notes, which I smell earthy and kind of floral. I just smelled the bag itself. And it's kind of sweet floral. I don't know if that makes sense because flowers aren't sweet, but and kind of earthy. But I'm going to do this tasting different. I usually always do my tastings in a gaiwan, but since we're having to use the bags this time, what I decided to do is I'm going to drop the bag in here. That way, this is my serving pitcher. That way, you'll be able to see the color of the tea. And my husband and I are going to use our little tasting cups. I've got my butter dish to put the bag on after I take it out. And I was going to show you an app on my phone. I got an app called Brew Tea that I've never used before. It tells me the temperature of the tea that I'm supposed to, of the water that I'm supposed to brew the tea. And it also has a timer on it. So I'm going to use it. So here we go. I kind of liked that Brew Tea app for timing the tea, except for that when it was done, it came up with an ad, but I clicked right off of it. So here is the tea, and there's your color. It's a nice golden color. You see it, a clear, clean kind of tea. There we go. See, there's nothing floating around like the last tea in my last tea video. So here it is in my cup and the tea bag. And here are my tasting notes for it. So we've already talked about that it is from the Kazi and Kazi Tea Company. It's called the Teatulia White. And the website where you can get it from, although I got it off of Amazon. So this is a white tea, so I took some time to learn a little bit about Bangladesh. And so there is Bangladesh. Let me do this a different way. It's right next to India and Myanmar, but there's China, Thailand. You kind of get the idea where it is located. But then if you look here, the Darjeeling is the red marker, which is right above Bangladesh. So that even, Darjeeling is in India, but it's kind of detached from India, like at the top and off to the right a little bit cut off by Bangladesh. So we are learning how close it is to some of the other locations that make tea. Now I looked up the Kazi Kazi on Google Maps, and it gave me this location, which is it's not up here near Darjeeling, and it's in the middle of a big city, so it can't be the estate where they grow it, and that's actually what the store that it looks like. I thought that was kind of fun. So I looked it up again, and you see this Kazi Kazi Estate Limited is way down here, and I think it's grown up here, so that again is another store because it's on the edge of a big city. So there's lots of stores that sell this over there, but I had trouble actually Googling and finding out where the actual fields of tea are, where the actual estate is. And my book says it's in this Panjgar district. So I looked that up, and sure enough, it's up here, which is right next to Darjeeling. So that tells me a lot, I guess, that it's very much in the same area. So on the website, it says, the website's really good. You should go to the Teatulia website. They've got lots of instructional pages, educational pages. But it says for their tea, and I really liked this, for the white tea, they take a green bud and they wither it for 72 hours, and then they dry it at this temperature here. It says our white tea is neither rolled nor fired, so it's essentially non-oxidized, and it's the least processed tea. Instead of being exposed to artificial heat, the leaves are simply allowed to wither and dry in a careful, controlled environment. So that's how their white tea is processed. I really appreciated that they gave exactly how their tea was processed, including the time. And they give that for each of their teas. So it's fun to go look at that as we taste each one of them. My tea book indicates that this tea comes in whole leaf, but on the website, Teatulia, there is no whole leaf. They are all in these CTC, which is crush, tear, curl bags. And I already shared with you the tester pack. The color is golden. We saw that. I smelled the bag before I brewed it, and it smelled earthy and somewhat sweet floral, and I had to like laugh at myself because I said, what in the world? I said, what in the world did I mean by that? I mean, that's what came out of my head. I don't know how a flower can smell sweet, but then again, if I think about it, some poems call flowers sweet. Oh, if you know what I mean in my own head, please let me know on that one. The body is very water-like, as it kind of, as you saw that the liquid was clear. The astringency is bright and light. My normal practice is to brew it in a gaiwan for 30 seconds, which that I love doing tea that way because you use more leaves and less water and less time. And I should put that in my notes. But for this, I decided to do it much more traditional, like you were putting the tea bag in a cup, only I used this glass pitcher so that we could see the color of it. But because I'm using more water with less tea leaves, I decided to brew it the more traditional way, longer than 30 seconds. And I used my timer, so I brewed it at 176 for 2 minutes. And it gives me more astringency. I don't like the astringency. And the astringency was not bad. It was only in the bright light category, which is the second from the bottom. But if I would brew this more of my gaiwan style, it probably would eliminate a lot of that astringency. Taste. The company noted on the package that it tastes like peach notes. It says medium bodied. Ooh, I didn't get that. And so because of the power of suggestion, I might get peach peel, not peach juice. But I wouldn't get that otherwise. It just tasted like classic tea to me. I couldn't get any flavor notes out of it. The finish was not soft and airy, which is the lowest one. It did evaporate quickly. It was just gone. I like the tea. I could sit and drink it and enjoy the cup, but I'm only giving it 3 stars because it does taste to me something like I would just go into the grocery store and buy after I've had all these other teas. And I guess my standards are different. So it's a good tea if you're looking for just a good tea like you would buy in the grocery store. And here's what the green tea looks like. It's not bright green like some of the other teas I've had, which indicates to me it might not be as fresh, but it did come a long way. So we are going to put that in there and gonna go ahead. I've got my water at 176, which is the same as what I had for the white tea, and we're going to brew this up. Okay, so here's our green tea. There's the bag, if you can tell anything by it. On the wet leaves, color is very similar, I think, to the white. I didn't snap a photo of the white tea. But here are my tasting notes, and I grabbed for the origin this time, since I didn't want to duplicate all the notes from the white tea. I grabbed a photo from their website showing the faces. I love, though, that I can go online and see the actual origin and the people, and there's a video out there of the actual fields. I mean, that really gives this tea company a lot of credibility. I also like how they give their processing notes and are so educational on their website. For green tea leaves, they note they are quickly heated by pan frying or steaming and dried to prevent too much oxidation. That's what keeps the leaves green. Only, as you saw, they didn't look very green. Even the after leaves don't look very green. They're more green than the dry leaves. This company says they process it by steaming and roasting, then cooling, then first rolling, first drying, final rolling, and final drying. So that's how they process their green tea. Kind of appreciated having that. They say they roast it, which is interesting. So instead of the pan frying, to what they do, what they call a kill green, to keep it green, they do it through steaming, like sencha is steamed. Steaming applies a light heat to the leaves to halt the oxidation process. So it has a fresh, grassy flavor. So, I forgot to put the color in. My book shows that it's CTC Crushed Terra Curl, and that's what this is. So this one agreed with the book, and I'm going to drop in this golden color, which is the same color as the white tea. And when I smelt the bag, I just put the bag up to my nose and smelt it. I got sweet grass. Traditional teas traditional tea smell for green tea, but sweeter than normal. And I got that when I smelt the white one too. It smelled sweeter than normal, but I did not get the sweet when I tasted it, which I will update my notes here on that. The body is even more watery than the white. The taste, double very, because I put very, and it told me that it was a typo. So I put double very, light, grassy, almost no flavor. I mean, yeah. Very, very light. Lively, brisk. Oh, I put that wrong. That's wrong. I gotta go up to... my finish, I put the same as the other one, evaporating quick. It was like just gone. And I wanted to do this as 2 hearts, but I looked at my own heart system, and 2 hearts is I swallowed it, meaning I didn't like it, but I swallowed it. That's not the case for this one. I'm swallowing it just fine, so I didn't give it 2 hearts. I bumped it up to the 3 hearts. If you don't like the strong taste of green teas, then this would be the tea for you. But I found it rather lacking and even less than store-bought greens. It was not much different than the white, except for the smell. It did smell different. So this is lackluster here for me. Yeah. It says I might buy it again, but I probably wouldn't. Okay, here is the black tea, definitely CTC crushed in here, and we are going to brew it up. Okay, so here's the black tea. Look at that rich, deep color. Just finished my tasting notes, and I said that's the best part of this tea, is that color. Tea bag. Nothing special there. So here's my tasting notes for the tea, the black Teatulia tea. I took an image off of their video. They actually have a nice video on their website that you can see their gardens in the background. I always love seeing that. I always love knowing exactly where my teas are from, and even seeing the gardens and the people working on them. It makes you want to buy the tea to support them. But she explains in this video it's a single source garden, which is very unique for Bangladesh. They never buy from other gardens or in order to mix teas. So they're single source and considered organic. So I didn't write much more about the origin. My book, though, shows some really full leaf teas. And once again, on the website, these are not available. You see, these are the black tea varieties available on their website, and they all have little bags, and not loose leaf. Definitely broken small bits, but fully oxidized CTC tea. And from their website, I took this out. You know, they have, once again, great educational website. But I did find it interesting. They separated their processing for orthodox and non-orthodox, which gave you an idea of what the difference of those two would be. And I believe that this just says organic, so this is non-orthodox. Well, you see it also says CTC. So they wither, and then they cut, tear, and curl, which is not in the orthodox. That step is left out in the orthodox. So the orthodox tea must be that full loose leaf tea, and I don't see that for sale on their website. Oxidizing, fermenting, and then drying. So it's processed like other, fully oxidized teas to get that dark, rich flavor and color. So on the tea spectrum, I've actually put this as cedar, which I've not had many teas that reach the cedar point. Cedar point. Sounds like it ought to be in a movie. It's kind of got a slight red tint in it. It's not the walnut on the very end. Then on the smelling, the aroma is the more professional words. I just smelt classic malty tea smell. It was very subtle, which told me that this tea might be old. They usually loses a scent the older the tea gets. Light, a little more body than white and green, but still somewhat watery. So instead of giving it delicate from the other two teas, I did up this to the light. Astringency, I got bright light. That's kind of my sweet spot if I'm going to have any astringency at all. And so it's just nice. That was really nice for a black tea. Taste, classic tea flavor. That's all I got. No, I'm sorry. And I never can, other than using the word malty that everybody else uses, I don't even know how to describe classic tea flavor other than classic tea. It's actually very similar to Lipton and other traditional American teas like Louisiana, or I can't think of the other brand names. Although once again, I think the flavor is light, just like in the other ones. Which I kind of liked, but it was very light and evaporating quick finish. It was just gone. 3 hearts, same as the other ones. It's nothing special. Something I could go in the store and buy. So, because I couldn't taste much difference between the white and the green, which I thought was quite odd, we're gonna dump them all on this plate. And look at the leaves. Take them out of their bags. And as you can see, this is the white and this is the green. And there's not a whole lot of difference. There's a lot of green in this one. There's a few darker colored leaves, which you don't see in the green. So they are different, but not much. And then here's the black, which does look different. Looks like black tea. It's been a rainy day outside, about 45 degrees, so I am glad to be able to be having fun tasting teas inside, and I'm letting hubby taste choose the order of the next ones, and he always likes lemongrass. So here's the lemongrass bag, and it smells like lemongrass. The website says it also has bay leaf in it. I smell that. I'm a little, it's not green. I would expect my lemongrass to be green to be fresh. It's a very pale green and a lot of yellow pieces. So here we go. It says to do this at boiling water, so for 5 minutes. So here we go. And I get nervous putting boiling water in this glass pitcher each time. I'm afraid it's just going to crack and break. But so far, it has not done that. Well, this is fun. I'm enjoying trying all these flavors in one day. I usually don't drink this much tea. But this lemongrass, I do like that it's just 2 ingredients. This is my kind of thing. So this is tisane with no caffeine. So I could sip on this late at night before bed. I sip on lemon balm a lot, but I don't always like bay leaf, but I don't really mind it in this tea. I wanted to go up to their website. I wanted to show you that they do have much educational stuff on their website for each of these teas. So see, this tells you even what the lemongrass plant is, and I'm wanting to grow it here. Tells you even how to grow it. Down here, how it grows and things to look for before you, so it shows that they're really educated. They really know what they're talking about. And it shows here, this is the part I really like about their website. They show exactly how they process all their teas and tisanes. They steam this, they cut it, they weather it, and then they dry it. So I recommend you spend time reading through this. I love how they recognize that it's actually called tisane, but also known as herbal tea, because only the tea with the Camellia sinensis plant could be called tea. So it's really just a tisane. So anyway, I highly recommend you coming out here and reading up on it. And there's the notes. It says a softer and lighter citrus, delicate yellow color. Yeah, I think that's correct. I do get the lemony. I don't know if I get sweet. I have trouble getting sweet, but in most of the teas, so that's not their thing. But I don't feel like I need sugar. That's the important thing. Off to the next tea. Okay, our next tea that we're tasting is the Earl Grey. And traditionally, I don't like this tea, and whenever I get it, I ask my husband to drink it, because for me it tastes often like black licorice. I don't know why, because it's supposed to be citrusy. This one, it says it's bergamot citrus, which is what it is, and it does smell different than most Earl Greys I have. It does smell much more citrusy. So here we go. I'm going to add the hot water and hope my serving pitcher does not break. Okay, here is the Earl Grey. It's got that rich, deep color, kind of not quite as deep as that black tea, but almost. And it does not taste like licorice to me, which I often get. I don't know why I get that with most Earl Grey teas. I do taste the citrus, but it's that bitter taste, like the orange peel or the lemon peel, and rather than the lemony taste that you know squeeze from the juice. So I don't really like it. I don't. But the lemongrass, yeah, I liked the lemongrass. But back to the website, I'll share with you. Please read their website. This company's got a great website for learning about teas. They do point out that this is made from bergamot, which is see, it says bergamot orange, which is, I think, a special kind of orange, like that they only grow in Florida and other places, not your traditional orange. And I believe it is the peel. I can't remember. It's a very, very common popular tea, especially the British like this tea, but this website gives a whole lot of great information. It does tell you that this tea is flavored or scented during the manufacturing toward the end of the process, usually once the tea leaves have dried. And it tells you one way is by blending flowers, herbs, and spices. And I think the most common way is by spraying or coating with extracts, oils, or flavoring ingredients. This package, ooh, let's read the package. I was wondering how this tea was made. Has organic black tea and the oil of bergamot. So this one does use the oil, like it says here, essential oil. 2 ingredients, so not bad. And this part, yeah, you got to come out here and read this. This is really interesting. They don't talk about just their tea, but Earl Grey in general, the type of bergamot used. But this is down here. Whenever you see this on their website, it's how they make their tea. So they wither the black tea, roll it, oxidize it, fire it to get the dark, rich color. So tasting Earl Grey. So there's so many fun notes out here to come and learn about teas. And if you like learning like I do, come read. Okay, so our next one is a Tulsi infusion tea, and when hubby was picking it out, he was drawn to the word infusion and totally just skipped over the word Tulsi because he didn't know what it was. I told him it was holy basil, but I've been reading up on that, and I'll share more of that later. But here's the tea bag, and it does look mostly like the black tea, and it says it's a black tea blend, so it must be black tea with the Tulsi in it. Okay, so here is the Tulsi infusion. Once again, it's that deep, rich color. I can tell they're using the same black tea for these, so I give them credit for being authentic to just like one source ingredients. For me, the tasting, it smelled just like the black tea. I didn't really smell it to be much different till after I brewed it. And I do get a little bit of a clove-like, more, it kind of covers up the regular tea flavor a little bit. And I also get more of an earthy taste than the malty taste. But see here, back to their website. Now, I am having fun doing this, guys, so I recommend you getting, this was $8 for all, what was it, 11 of these? 11 of these. And I'm having fun because they actually give so much great information right on their website. And then it gets me thinking, and I go learning more. So I always knew this was called holy basil, and I always knew it was like a healing thing. So it's a healing thing in the Indian culture for more than 5,000 years. In the Western world, where I'm at, it's just now being tried more in teacups. It tells you exactly what the scientific name is of the plant, because it's different than regular basil. So you can come out and here and read. And I found this interesting. I didn't know there were 3 varieties of it. So you can come out here and read about that. Then there's a bunch of legends, and this is where it gets into the Hindu religion. See, the Hindu god Vishnu. And then it makes it very clear to me that this is Hindu holy. It's holy in the Hindu religion, not so much in the Christian religion. So I'm Christian. Doesn't mean that this tea will harm me in any way. It just doesn't have any really faith significance for me. I did Google about it. It's not mentioned in the Bible. There was a couple times there were some stories about wanting to tell the difference between the 2 thieves and Jesus on the cross, and that somebody planted basil. That's kind of silly to me. There was some stories about they think it was found outside the tomb. It's not even mentioned in the Bible. So, you know, all of this stuff is holy to the Hindu people, which is kind of cool. It may very well be healing, just as they have found it healing. So then, you know, you get all of this great information to go ahead and read up from on the website. And it's not bad. It's mostly black tea with a little bit of a different kind of clove flavor. Okay, here we go with the peppermint. We have the chamomile and oolong left. And my husband said, after all this tea, we better do the chamomile last to calm down. Of course, oolong has caffeine in it. So this is the peppermint, and the ingredients say organic peppermint leaf. Now, I normally don't like peppermint. I grow the spearmint in the yard. I like spearmint. When you talk about mint candies, a mint candy cane I don't like, but a spearmint, those little ones with the little hard candies and they're green colored, I do like those, kind of like a winter green. But this is peppermint, and so here's the bag, and I smelt it, and it does smell peppermint. I grow the other mint, I can't think of the name, I just said it, in my yard and dry it, the spearmint, because I don't really like this, but let's give it a try. My husband will probably drink it. And I've been invaded by snugglers on my window seat. Actually, this one's been here by my side. Hi, Miss Tizzy. But this one has been unhappy that she could not get in here, and she snuck in here right in front of my tea tray. Anyway, here's peppermint, and I'm surprised. I normally don't like peppermint, but this one was pretty good. Look at the kind of a rich brown color of this tisane. Yeah, so I was impressed on this one. Being as normally the spearmint I grow in my yard, I only like to have it with blended with some black tea. And the lemon balm that I grow in my yard, I have as a tea by itself. I love having that before I go to bed. But this, surprisingly, was much better than I thought it would be. So again, back to the website, tells you about the peppermint plant and all sorts of good information. Of course, it's prolific if you've ever grown it, but they actually have some recipes how you can make your own peppermint extract, pest spray, mindful mint spray, minty mouthwash, all sorts of fun things to read about while you drink this tea. So this is a great package if you take the whole experience of taking each of the teas and coming to the website again. My girlfriends have moved on out, but not too far. So, second to the last tea, we are going after this oolong, and it smells, it says, hints of fresh pie crust. Interesting. Lemon and sake. I'm not sure what sake is, but here we're going to try this. And I wish I could see it a little better. They are more of a full leaf, or like a half cut leaf. I'm interested to see what they turn out to be like. So I looked it up, and now I know it's like sake, I think, and not sake, that this is supposed to be flavored like, which is an alcoholic beverage. Yes. Japanese rice wine by fermenting rice. I might have to see if I can buy that sometime and try it out. Anyway, for this one, I'm going to say roasted. Now, if they mean fresh pie crust, as in it's slightly toasted at the bottom, I can kind of get that. I don't get the lemon, and I don't know what sake tastes like. I know what Oriental foods often taste like, and I don't get Oriental. I don't get rice, but I do get a nice roasted oolong. This is probably one of the better teas. For me, anyway. The black and the green and the white were too light. They had such a light flavor. They didn't have much flavor at all. But this is really, I like roasted stuff though. And it's nicely roasted. If I was to buy one of their teas again, it would be this one over the black, the white, or the green, and also the lemongrass. So the bag, you can see it did expand and fill out like oolongs, because they're rolled or curled or whatever it was before. I couldn't tell in the bag. And they do expand a lot, and so they did just like I expected them. Back to their website. Also, again, very great for teaching about oolongs. Very, very great. All sorts of stuff you can read. You can see this is made by withering, cooling, light rolling, oxidizing, roasting, and final rolling. And then drying and hand sorting. But up here, where's that part I wanted to pick out, which I can't remember? The shape. Oolongs are traditionally rolled, twisted, and curled into tight balls or thin strands. The artisanal shaping, in other words, these are experts that have their personal, it's like when I take photography and I have my photography style that I share. They have their oolongs. That's what's so great about oolongs, because they are so artisanal and so unique and so different. And a lot of that has to do with how it's rolled and shaped during that process, which affects the tea. So definitely get to that website. Isn't it a pretty color? Okay, are you ready for the last one, which is chamomile? And the ingredients just say organic chamomile. And then it says also chill out with notes of honeysuckle and sugared candy, caffeine free. I find that a bit interesting, but I smell it. Here it is. So, ooh, you see I guess that's the full flower in it. There's a couple, it's hard to see through the bag. I am such a loose leaf fanatic. So, but you see it, and it smells, it does smell calming. I normally do not like chamomile. Not usually a fan, so it's usually, I think, mixed with other teas, so I'm really interested in just trying the single source. So here goes. Okay, I finally made it to the end of the teas. Whew, and chamomile to relax and calm down. I keep getting, it's still rainy kind of like outside and cloudy. Great day to do this, but I don't recommend doing this all in one day, people. But it's been fun for me. I can't believe I did it. I would have said I never would have done this many teas. This is the chamomile. Pretty honey golden color. And speaking of honey, this might be good with just a little bit of honey in it, but I like to try my teas without any assistance, and I kind of like it. I've never been a big chamomile fan. It has a little bit of a I was going to say aftertaste, but a finish. In fact, I think all the taste is kind of in a finish, and it is kind of honey-like. I don't know if I get the sugared candy, but I definitely get kind of like the honeysuckle, maybe. It's not as bad as I thought. Sometimes I have to keep trying things I didn't like before, and eventually I like them. So once again, and finally, please go to their website. So right up here where it says, where's my mouse? Where it says about tea 101, tea varieties. Here's all of their tea varieties. So click and go and read each one of them. And then you can buy the teas. My thought is this tea company tries to do too much, but then again, they give a well-rounded experience. Yeah, if you buy their teas. So this is all about chamomile and Egyptian. It's a daisy-like flower, similar to sunflowers, and echinacea, which is like purple coneflowers, and marigold. Peter Rabbit used it. There's lots of good notes on here. They've been so thorough, and they tell you how it grows. There's a German variety and a Roman variety, and other fun facts. I didn't know all of this stuff. This is kind of crazy. So definitely come here and read. It's just a great activity to brew this tea and come to their website and read. That's what I've gotten out of Bangladesh. I'm sorry. Okay. How it's steeped in history, how it's used. Here's some recipes. Ooh, chamomile simple syrup might be good. Garden spray. Quinoa. So anyway, yeah. Look at what we did. I can't believe we did this. So this is tea in the round. Never drink this many teas in one day. And we had the other tea from the other company in the other video before I had this one. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I've had 10 teas today. Granted, my husband drank more of it than I did. But I think we're going to re-steep these leaves. May do some combinations. Maybe, let me think. What will go good? Lemongrass and chamomile? Or, we'll like black tea and lemongrass. Or oolong and peppermint oolong. Anyway, combine some of them and cold brew them so we can have, you know, get more benefit from our money that we spent. Some of them, like the green and the white tea, tasted a lot alike. I could put them together in something, maybe have them like have 3 different cold brews going on of 3 different teas. See what they taste like. Anyway, let's lift this up. I got them all out here so I can remember the order. So here we go. Let me see. This was the first one. It was the white one. So, and we talked already about the white and the green and how they were very much alike. So here's the black. We saw it. It's definitely like a CTC black. But look at how much larger the lemongrass is. It like exploded when it came out of that bag. And so that's fun, I think, the lemongrass. And then the next one is the Earl Grey. So you can tell that this, well, there's kind of a really whole leaf there. Not as much CTC as that one. But you can tell they're almost the same leaf, almost the same tea from a different batch. And then the next one was the Tulsi infusion, and you can see how that looks very much like the black tea as well, because it just has the Tulsi in it. You can't really see the Tulsi. I see one little piece there that's a different color. You see it, there's another one over here, but you know, those 2 teas look almost alike. And then peppermint. Now the peppermint is the greenest of them all. It looks the freshest of them all. And this one is the oolong, which you can see the oolong does look like oolong to me. It's the one that I liked the best, but I like roasted flavors. And then, let's get this oolong out. I had to see what the oolong looked like. My husband said the chamomile looked like a pile of poop. He said, now I'm going to have trouble drinking it. But I don't see any flowers in it. It's kind of all mushed together. Kind of really weird. Oh, I gave it a crack. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Okay, let's just turn it over. There you go. I have to fix that. So I may take a picture of all this later and put them back in little balls. But there you have it. Don't try this. It's like one of those things where they show in the TV shows, you know, do not try this. It's for TV purposes only. Do not try this at home. Spread it out. Try it at home. It's fun testing them and reading and learning about them on their website. I really liked that, and I would just do one a day. Have a great day. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm trying to clean this up, playing with my food so I can take a photo of it. And my husband says, okay, time for me to go to the store. I'm just probably going to slosh all the way there. Okay, got the cold brew going on so I don't waste my teas. This one is the white and the green and the lemongrass. I thought that would be good together because the white and green tasted so much alike, and then the lemongrass gives it something unique. This one's the black and the peppermint, because I thought the peppermint needed to be toned down with the black, and I think I put Earl Grey in there, I'm not sure. And then I put the other 3 in here, the chamomile, the oolong, and I can't even remember what the other one is, but they're all in there. So tomorrow and the next day probably, that's going to be my tea.